So I know a lot of people laugh when I say the name Ricky Martin because of the celebrity status and basically who he is to us. But the real Ricky Martin that I knew was an inmate that I was in prison with. And he was about 23, 24 years old, doing 3 years for just petty crimes. Now, he was more confused than a Billy Goat on AstroTurf. He didn't know if he wanted to be in a gang. He didn't know if he wanted to go to church. I mean, think about it. At that age, you truly don't know what you want to do in life. And imagine being in prison having to make that decision. So he was a white dude from the suburbs, and he wanted to fit in with some hardcore dudes that were from the hood and part of some serious organizations. So they would use him for like crash test dummy stuff where go run up and punch this guy in front of the officer, or go punch this officer and go do it in front of everybody. And like he kept doing a lot of these things, curse this officer out or steal from this person. And he would do it to try to impress all these people that he wanted to fit in with, because he didn't really know what he wanted in life. And this is where it takes a dark turn. So he ends up taking it too far with an officer, and the officers already didn't like him and had a hit on him. So they sent him to confinement, and he ends up having a roommate who beats the shit out of him. But he was able to get a letter home to his family, and they got him moved out of that one and put into a different part of confinement. So they put him in the cell, and his cellmate is a notorious booty bandit, rapist of convicts, killer, just thief, armed robber, everything you can imagine would be a nightmare. They put him in the cell with him. The officers did this on purpose to get revenge for how he was acting. Now, think about that. Think about how fucked up that is. When we were 23, 24, you made a mistake, you learned maybe a couple days in jail or whatever, basic consequences that you had to learn in life. Well, in prison, you're going to get killed. Those are your consequences, or you're going to be behind the wall for years and years and go crazy in isolation. So these 6 sadistic guards put him in the cell for revenge for the way he was acting, a confused kid from the suburbs trying to fit in. Instead of just putting him on lockdown to learn his lesson and let him go home when he was about to go home in 6 months, they put him in there with a notorious rapist and killer. Well, this guy beats him to death and then rapes him in that order. And while he was beating his face in, all you can hear is him stomping, because he's already knocked out. He's already bloody. He's already on the ground in the fetal position. All you hear is him stepping on this guy's face, stomping him out. And every time he did it, he would scream a name that he felt someone had injustice. He'd say, Malcolm X, and then stomp on his face. He'd say, this one is for George Zimmerman and what he did. Stomp on the guy's face. And he just kept going on. And it kept going on for 15 minutes, 20 minutes until the officers finally came in and cleared up the scene. And he died. And what's even more crazy is they didn't even tell the parents what happened. The parents were looking for him, and they couldn't find his location. Finally, they went to the prison he was at, found out their son that was going to go home in a matter of months was put in a cell with a notorious killer and beaten and raped to death. Imagine that. Imagine that. That is the most horrific thing that I could ever remember. Just seeing and being a part of in prison, just being there, just feeling that energy. And it just blows my mind that the officers thought that was a way to get back at some young, confused kid. So at the end of the day, the guy that did this goes to trial, and he's like, yeah, I did it. I don't like him. I don't like his people, nothing he stands for, and I'll do it again. And I think he got like 45 years put back into prison, and that's it. Stay out, stay free. Us.